Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me again today. I love to hear and I always appreciate it when I get a comment, whether you're talking about what's in my background or the necklace that I'm wearing or noises that you hear in the background. I love it. I love just knowing that you guys are watching my videos. It really just, I'm so grateful for it and it makes me so happy. I love filming these videos for you guys, so I truly am so grateful for any time that you choose to spend with me. Today I want to talk to you about why we need to stop comparing ourselves to others. This is such a difficult thing to do, but it's something that I'm pretty sure all of us do. So before I get started, be sure you subscribe before you leave and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Our human inclination to compare ourselves to each other, I think, has just become so exacerbated with social media, and especially as technology evolves, it's always about getting the latest and the greatest everything. And I think regardless of what your thing is, whether it's buying crystals or buying computers, there's always something better coming out. And if you see someone else with it, it's just human nature to be like, oh, but I want that. And there's some jealousy, some envy. There's some different feelings that are not good for us and they prevent us from being happy. So let's talk a little bit about how we got here and what we can do to fix it. So there's this old notion of keeping up with the Joneses, right? The Joneses are the ones who have everything and they always have the latest and greatest, and they're the ones that everyone should be trying to keep up with. No, that's not true. One time, not too entirely long ago, one of my friends actually told me that Sean and I are the Joneses that everyone's trying to keep up with. And I laughed, but I actually really didn't like it because I don't want to be seen that way, that we're purchasing and focusing on these material items and objects, because that's not what make us happy, and that's not, we don't strive to have the best anything, really, and I can't say we've always been that way, and there's always some level of comparison and competition with friends, even if it is out of love because we think it's so cool that they have something or that they're going somewhere on a cool trip. It's easy and normal to do, but when it happens too much, it's not good for us. It lowers our self-esteem and it just makes us focus on our deficiencies, which is a terrible thing to do. So that's all I have to say about that. Let's not focus on that anymore. Let's start focusing on how we don't compare ourselves to others anymore. One of the most important things you need to do is have laser focus on what it is that you already have. If you are on your phone or on a computer or on a tablet watching me on YouTube right now, you have so much and it's so cool. You have internet access, you have electronics that allow you to connect and communicate with the rest of the world, which is a super cool thing. And go back to the end of my last video where I talked about how at Wanderlust someone said, if you know where your next meal is coming from and you know where you're sleeping tonight, then you are rich. And I love that. And I think that a basis for this is gratitude, of course, which I've talked about a million times, but there's a quote, gratitude turns what we have into enough. And I think that is so true. And there's so much wisdom in that and so much that we can learn keeping that in mind. So the first thing you're going to need to do is start catching yourself when you're doing this, right? I'm going to focus a lot on social media because I think this is probably one of the main sources for a lot of us that starts driving us and compelling us to compare ourselves to others. So the first thing that you're probably going to notice when you start comparing yourself to someone else is how it makes you feel. It's when you get a little bit like, must be nice, but there's even a little bit of a physical reaction. Sometimes it feels like your skin is prickly or a pit in your stomach, or, just kind of heightens your anxiety a little bit almost. And then you start having those thoughts well, it must be nice, or when did they get that? Or your thoughts might even go to, well, ours is better. And when you really know that it's hitting, it's when you think, oh, well, I could get that, I could get a better one. And I'm really mostly focusing on thoughts related to material objects because it is something that happens, right? Your friend or neighbor gets a new pool, things like that. For me, it's people going on vacation. When I see my friends going on vacation, I'm like, I want to do that. I really want to do that. But I also make sure that I am so happy for them knowing that they have the means and ability to go and take these amazing trips and vacations. So once you've caught yourself comparing yourself to others, what you want to do is start focusing on what it is that you already have. I am fairly certain that you already have everything that you need. You probably have a roof over your head, a means for food and water, and transportation as you need it. And if you have all of that, you have all you need to exist on the planet, right? Everything else is just fluff. It's just things that do not make you happy, but they're nice to have. And I'm talking about the nicer cars, the nicer houses. Yeah, those are bigger things, but even thinking about like nicer jewelry, or like I mentioned, the nicer trips that people are going on. We're all at different points in our lives. We all make the decision to do different things. We've made a million decisions throughout our life that have led us to the point where we are today. And we all need to pay respect and gratitude to that. And if we're not where we want to be, then we need to readjust, right? And if it's important to you to have different things, to make sure that you have, you know, a nicer phone, or that your lawn is perfect, or anything like that. You know, I mean, like, humans crave the strangest things, right? It's not like I really want more healthy food. You know, that's never what people are jealous of. It's very strange. Humans are very strange. But, you know, a lot of times it is this material stuff. But also compare both sides, because remember, every time that, I shouldn't say every time, but a lot of times that we're posting on social media, there's probably someone else who's looking at our feed saying, oh, that must be nice. I wish I had that, or mine is better, right? And when we put these posts on social media, for the most part, I don't think our intention really is to show off what our lives are like. I truly don't believe that those who are always showing off the cool vacations they're going on, or the nice new cars that they're buying, or anything that they're buying. Sometimes I think they're showing off, but for the most part, I think that they're really just proud of themselves, or they're offering. Essentially, I think that they're offering to show you, hey, look, this is something that I have that I enjoy, and we should just be happy for them. Even if their intentions are ill or to make other people jealous, don't get sucked into it. Just be happy for them. And actually, if someone does post like, hey, look at my fancy new car, you don't have one, you know, whatever their intention is, like, you being happy for them actually knocks that down. And, you know, you essentially invalidate their need to brag about it. Now, sometimes we do compare ourselves to others, and we need to pay attention to it. Because when you're comparing yourselves to someone's qualities, or they're doing something that you like, that's when you really do need to start paying attention to it and saying, wait a minute, I really like how this person handled this situation, or I really like how this person put this into perspective, or I like how this person is just laughs to handle difficult situations. That's when you should be comparing yourself to others. When it's someone else's quality or behavior, and it's something that you admire and respect or appreciate, then definitely pay attention to it and start mimicking it when you can. And then just get curious when you start comparing yourself to others. Even keep a journal. When you notice that you feel as though your house isn't nice enough, or your kids don't have the nice enough toys, or your phone isn't the newest version, even though it works perfectly, you know, just kind of start having some awareness and some curiosity around it. Start asking yourself, why do I feel this way? Is it because it's that person specifically? And if it is, like, no, it should never be a goal for you to be like someone just because of the material possessions they have, right? It's really hard to start getting curious about this, though, because we're essentially admitting that we have deficiencies in our lives, whether they're actual or perceived. But keep in mind what a negative impact this has on you. Again, it affects your self-esteem, forces you to focus on deficiencies that, like I just said, are or are not even deficiencies. And the more you dwell on that, the more negativity you have in your life. This actually starts to place a burden on individuals and starts to create and exacerbate anxiety and depression and lots of bad things. So if for no other reason than for your own mental health, you have got to stop comparing yourself to others, because you, I hope, have everything that you need. And if there is something else that you need, then that's what your priority is to focus on, right? So making sure that you're aware and stopping yourself are critical to starting to build this habit of not comparing yourself to others. And from there, make sure that you're practicing gratitude, and that you love what you already have, and focus on your positive qualities, because there are probably a billion positive things about you that other people admire that you can be focusing on instead of what someone else has. So to wrap this up, I want to make sure that I made the point clear that the material items or the experiences that other people have in their lives and typically show on social media, one, assume that it's coming from a place of love and that they're just proud of themselves and want to share that with you. And two, remember that you and your life are amazing too, whether you choose to show it on social media or not. So thank you again for choosing to spend your time with me today. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I always appreciate it. I hope you liked this video. Leave me a comment below if you picked something up or if you're gonna start doing something different. And I cannot wait to see you again next time.